Raising up our community, no fear. Solar power is flowing through the atmosphere. It's only right we resign that channel out of here. There's no helping the black race, they all dead. Marginalizing the beast in the forehead. There's no turning us back, we focus right now. Our only focus is on it, we will never bow. Yes, we're taking this over, this is our pledge. Our only focus is on it, we are full-fledged. The rebels never play games, power don't play. We focus on honest work, seeking the brighter day. We all have this power, we don't look back. The ones really of honor will never fade the blood. With the elected of honor, you better recognize the next order of honor is surely on the rise.
Good evening and welcome. Welcome to High and Mighty Talks with me, the intellectual noob MENTELLECT. Tonight we're going to be touching on a few things, a few popular topics that have been in the news recently. This one being this little conundrum that happened with Brother Polight. We're going to touch on that and a few other things. Been a minute since I've been on here, but you know, life is happening, family, things like that, community, running the family, doing all the things that are necessary in my life so I can keep continuing to give you all the most supreme transmission and higher levels of thinking concerning all topics and things I'm touching on and addressing. Before I get into this, we're going to start off in the name of Amen by the power of Amen. In Amen we trust, in Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. Hail Amen. Always got to open up. First, like I said, we are discussing this Polight thing. I put this, with the recent things that's taking place, it's big in YouTube news anyway. The arrest of Brother Polight, aka Michael Nowak, right? Brother Polight, aka Michael Nowak, aka Brother Polight. I know Brother Polight since he was 17, 18 years old, about 17 years old. Right? This before everybody knew him, the world knew him, before YouTube and all this other stuff. I met him like literally back in, I want to say I met him back in 97, 98. I met Polight. He was about 17 at the time. And he had his friend his homeboy Water with him. His friend, they were moving out of some house in Flatbush, and I was helping them out. We was all part of Dr. York's community, the Wapians, but he was up under this sister named Sakina. But anyway, and knowing him and crossing paths with him, he did have uncanny attributes as a speaker. He had very unusual attributes as a speaker, catchy things. And, people can't front. Polight made himself into a character, right? A person of interest, or as they say in YouTube land, an influencer. And people call, they get on Polight and they call him a scammer, a con artist, and all these other things. And people accuse him of scamming people out of their money for status correction and real estate things, all kinds of stuff people have given Polight money for. And they say they haven't gotten these services, And I'm not here to stick up for Polight or kick his back in like a lot of you people in the conscious community who I feel are fake and phony, because you all smiled in Polight face and you all let him get on your platforms, and then you tear him down when he goes through what everybody pretty much knew Polight was doing. No front like people didn't know, Polight had that, side of him, with the women, because he always, displayed that with the Instagram models and all this, and having his women running around half naked and whatnot. That's his business. However, when children get involved, it's a totally different ballgame, totally different, situation when children get involved. The thing I don't like about this is that they keep trying to link Polight to Dr. Malachi Z. York and his case, which I don't like at all. I'm going to speak up on that. I'm going to be very vocal about that. I'm still of the mindset that Dr. York is innocent. He didn't molest any children. They don't even have him on any predator or sexual predator charges. That's just stuff that's lingering out there in the, in the world. But that's not really what he was charged with. He was charged with transporting minors across state lines, which were, I'm not going to get all into the case, but he's not convicted of any kind of pedophilia, things like that. But he was forced to take a plea to protect his wife and other sisters who could have lost their children, because they were going to lock up everybody. They would just, when the government wants you, they want you. When they want to lock you up, when they want to basically stop you from setting up as an Indigenous American, setting up land, and with you trying to, start a, I guess, whatever, he was trying to do a sovereign, community or something like that in Georgia, in the, the heart of Georgia, in Eatonton. We had the Pyramid City. Like I said, I've been there before. And like I said, Dr. York, he may be many things. He may be, I don't have any opinions because I wasn't ever close to him like that, but he may be many things. But one of the things I say, I could stake my, life on, he's not a child molester. Man had plenty of women, plenty of children, 100 and plus to be from his own daughter's mouth, his own biological daughter's mouth. And let me just say this: Jacob York is not Dr. York's son. Please stop saying this nigga is Dr. York's son. Jacob York is not Dr. York's biological son. He's adopted, which makes it even more worse because the biological children of Dr. York sit up here and let this goddamn imposter who set up Dr. York, you sit up here and let this goddamn imposter, Jacob York, sit up here and try to pass himself off as a biological son of Dr. York, which he is not. He is not. All you got to do is look at Dr. York children and look at Jacob York. He's not Dr. York's son. And they've even come out and said it. So how do you let somebody who's not even a biological child say all this stuff? And he lied a few times, or he contradicted and lied a few times on some nonsense about his girlfriend. Then it was his brother's girlfriend that Dr. York supposedly raped. All this nonsense. But anyway, I'm not going to get off into that. But Polight was able to make his way into the Nawapians and whatnot amongst them. And, he got in through his sister named Sakina. And, we was all in the Nawapian Grand Lodge at the time. And, Polight wasn't nobody. He wasn't nobody. And he was trying to be somebody in the lodge. But I remember he was too young to get in, something like that. And, he was just like around that sister Sakina. And then eventually he made his way up to Harlem into the so-called conscious community, which, I never heard of them before until, I did that infamous, that now famous, last infamous interview with on Nether TV, that nonsense. But like I said, it's surprising to me how all you people in the so-called conscious community are now kicking in Polight's back. Nobody had nothing to say for real. I mean, everybody had their little criticism. Everybody had their little criticisms, but now everybody doing all of a sudden from the Black Authority, everybody and their mother, Tariq Nasheed, everybody got everything to say on Polight. Everybody got, again, I'm not defending Polight at all. I'm not defending him. I don't like or dislike Polight. I hate the fact that people want to try and act like Polight conned people out of money and that he was such a bad person. Yeah, of course, what he did with the child, the thing's been proven, absolutely wrong. I'm not for that harming and touching children. I got babies. I got baby girls. I'm not for that touching children. You already know what I think should be done with a pedo. I'm not even going to say it on here. But shit, if you did that to the damn pedos, you'd have to get rid of half of the American government. Half of the senators, the congressmen, the judges, the priests, all the people in higher positions, the Caucasians, and you Negroes to some of y'all that follow the beast. But anyway, I'm not for any of that. That's why I say I didn't like that they tried to link him to Dr. Malachi York, who never met Brother Polight a day in his life. Only heard about this guy. But see, when you fall into situations like that, people can then come and make their way into your circle. And, I heard about all the little turmoil. I was going by that time when they started all that turmoil going back and forth with Polight. But reason, again, why I'm not mentioning it to get views or try to get people to like and feel what I'm saying. But one of the things I wanted to say is that people gave Polight money not because he was offering any real financial security. That's not true. It's the same, people gave Polight money for the same reason people give Tariq Nasheed money for films. And again, I'm not trying to link Polight with Tariq Nasheed. I'm not trying to link the two, but the only reason I'm saying it is because people always making reference to them as scammers and hustlers and things like that. Tariq Nasheed, he collects money for films. You don't have to give him any money. He's not promising you any returns on the money, anything like that. So he collects money for film. People like Tariq Nasheed's personality, like his persona, and they give him money. That's it. They give him money because they like Tariq Nasheed. People ain't looking for nothing in return. And I can't honestly believe or think that people want to give Polight any money back. They give Polight money basically because he's just a character, man. People like characters. They like characters. They like, his silly, goofy, I've seen his little, get down and whatnot, how he, does his little conferences and whatnot. And, he's a character, and people love characters. People will give money to characters. and they got money to throw away like that. If you got money to throw away and you give to somebody and take somebody like a Polight seriously, hey man, you know, he don't feel bad about whatever, how the transaction is, how it goes down with your money, it's whatever. Like I said, I know Polight before the world like really knew him being on YouTube and all this other stuff. I know Polight going back that far, right? So I can speak on it. But like I said, the hypocrisy of all these niggas in the conscious community that's talking all this crap about Polight, like they didn't know. Like they didn't know. Wow, this is just so mind-blowing right now, right? But I want this to be a teachable lesson to you, because I say all people like this who fall into situations like that, who allow themselves to fall into situations like this, let this be a warning to you. Here it is. Polight took all this time. He's been out here teaching literally over 15, 16 years. I damn near want to say 20 years. But he's been out here teaching about 15 to 20 years. He's been out here teaching and doing whatever he's doing, saying he allegedly ran scams. I don't know. I never gotten by Polight. I don't know. I never would. I'm not giving my money to no nigga. But anyway, so they do stuff like this, and you would think you building up a reputation. You on Instagram, you want to be an influencer, you want to be someone. And Polight, hands down, Polight was an influencer. A lot of people was feeling what Polight was talking about, even if some felt it was BS. A lot of people felt him because they liked his character. They liked the persona he puts on. You see, always that positive, get money, material nonsense that black people like. And they like characters like that. That's why you got people like a Reverend Ike. You have people like a Reverend Ike, Creflo Dollar. Those people are popular because of their presentation, how they present themselves to the public. People like characters, right? And white people ain't no different too. This is why you got, I'm naming religious leaders. You got, what's the guy's name? The white guy, the Reverend. What's his name? What's the white guy? I forget what his name is, but he one of those prosperity guys too. It'll come to me. But you got people like that because people like to give money to stuff like that. They like to give. So again, people like to give money because that's what money is. They give away their money. They want to spend it on something. So I'm always careful about calling people scammers and saying that people got defrauded. People didn't care whether they made money or not. There's no way you're going to tell me people in their right mind would have thought they was going to make millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars messing with Polight. There's no way. If the black conscious community is that slow mentally, then you know what? Y'all deserve to have that money taken from you, because that need to be a lesson to y'all. You see, how you gonna give your money to somebody who don't even really, who not leading by telling you what his whole name, his real name is? You're not kicking his back in, but that just, all I'm showing you is that goes to prove that people love characters, because Brother Polight is a character of Michael Nowak. Okay? Brother Polight is a character of Michael Nowak. That's just one of his characters. He got several characters. You didn't know that? He was a 13 high something of the hierophant of some shit he was saying before. He had 1,000 different characters he put on. What he put the eyeliner on the side of his face and whatnot. He had the Egyptian thing and whatnot, And who knows, maybe we're going to put that eyeliner to use again. Who knows? It all remains to be seen. My point is, you worked that hard to get to wherever the hell you thought you was in the world, just to blow it over some sex with an underage girl. Nigga, are you insane? I would ask for are you insane? Like you did all this posing on cars with Bentleys and all that female stuff, because I call that stuff female stuff. All that showing and niggas posing on Bentleys and expensive cars and Maybachs and and wearing all kinds of jewelry and silk damn boxer shorts like underwear and whatnot, and and being all out in nice tropical environment. That's nice and all, but if that's what your life is about, that is truly some feminine shit, man. Honestly, females do stuff like that. I mean, I can see the men taking pictures and whatnot, nice and whatnot, but all that, you're trying to floss and flash. And when people try to floss and flash so much, those are the people that usually ain't got what they trying to floss and flash. Because the real people that got it, they don't got to do all that. You see them, you'll eventually see them with it. You'll be like, when you see them roll up in the Bentley, it's really going to be theirs. It ain't going to be rented. When you see them roll up in the goddamn Maybach or the Spider or all them cars, the Excalibur, all the, those cars Polight was posing on with them funny clothes, them funny color-coded clothes, you're going to be like, well, shit, But obviously, that was part of his appeal. And I'm like, you throw all that away for some underage sex with a little girl? Not, forget the fact that is straight degenerate to touch a child. Forget that part. That not to be forgotten, but I'm just saying, but you gonna throw your whole life away? Like something you worked on I don't understand that. That's truly off, mentally off. That's why I don't believe that Dr. York did that. I don't think he did nothing like that because he worked for over 40 years to get himself to where he was writing on them books and to make himself a reputable teacher and things like that and write all those books and put his name, start a community just to be taken down by a sex scandal. It don't make sense. Make it make sense to me. I can understand that with Polight because Polight ain't really built nothing up other than a bunch of talk and a bunch of hoopla. That's all he built up. So I can understand him not valuing that which he's worked on because he really didn't build nothing. When he was trying to do the whole new covenant thing, obviously he didn't stick with that. He decided he wanted to go to Hollywood and become a groupie. Or run around behind Floyd Mayweather and be a celebrity groupie. Like he helping them. Whatever. That's it. Hey, my point on that is for you young men, don't throw your lives away for sex. Don't throw your lives away for fame. Don't throw your lives away for things that are going to sum up to nothing. Like Brother Polight. Let his life and that 7 years he's going to do, let them 7 years be a lesson to you of what not to do, what not to allow yourself to get trapped up in. Because people out here, like I said, people out here are scandalous. People out here will catch you up and stuff. And again, I'm not saying that Brother Polight, if he did all the stuff they say he did and he got evidence that he deserved to go to jail. Yes, he does. He deserves to go to jail for touching on children. My question is, where was her mother at? Where was her father at? Where the parents of this child at? Why would you let your child go somewhere with a stranger or somebody, who is not her biological father? But again, that's them people's situation. But again, let people's mishaps and misfortunes be a lesson. You see? Let it be a lesson to you. You see? Never put sex over your life. Never put sex over your life. He threw away his life over nothing. He threw away his life over nothing. But here's the thing in this funny world. Polight could come back after 7 years. He probably ain't gonna do the whole 7. Polight probably gonna get out in like 4 years. They probably cut him a deal. He's gonna get out 3.5, and he'll have to register as a sex offender for 10 years. I think something like that. I don't think he's gonna have to do the whole 7. If all they offered him, he copped out to 7 years, so he don't have to go to trial. They had him dead to right. It is not like Dr. York case. You know what I'm saying? But they had Polight dead to right. Ain't nothing he could do. But in this world, how negative it is, he could probably come out in 4 years or so and be like, yeah. And he could spin it some kind of way. And you niggas will love Polight again, man. Because he's just a goddamn character. You niggas will love Polight again. Because y'all loved R. Kelly. You loved R. Kelly. Y'all was ready to buy his record. You know what he was doing with them young girls or not. Let's just face it. We got some people amongst the so-called black race who are just as sick as those in the white race. You got sick people in all races, black, white, Asian, everything in between. Like I said, I don't understand. The man always, he got those wives who's supposed to be all, nice and juicy and thick, something the man will want to hold on to, and you messing with little girls. That's what makes you start to think that all those women and wives, are they real? My wives are real. My wives are real. My children are real. Right? The things I do in my life, how I live my life is real. Don't try this at home. Anyway, yeah, but that's all I had to say on this guy Polight. You know what I'm saying? You know, let the lesson be, seek accomplishments outside of popularity and fame, because again, when you chase fame, that's another thing I want to say about this before I close out on the Polight thing. When you chase fame, like Polight chased fame, because that's all he was doing. He was just chasing fame. He just wanted to be popular. He was popping. He wanted to be popular, because that's the thing with a lot of this young generation. Y'all out here clout chasing. You out here chasing fame. You out here trying to run behind people, or Instagram this, TikTok videos. I don't even know half this stuff. You see, when you try to chase fame so hard, eventually you will become infamous. You will become infamous when you try to chase fame so hard, because the people you running behind, those people are usually sketchy as hell, and they will get you linked up into sketchy things and whatnot. And next thing you know, you sitting somewhere like Brother Polight talking about what happened. What happened was you was trying to chase fame, and you became infamous in your pursuit. That's what happened. Don't be like that. Don't be like that guy. Let Polight be a lesson to you young men out there who are working to try to accomplish something in this life. Don't let sex and the desire and and all this. Don't let that and don't let degeneracy take you. I'm not even gonna say sex. Don't let degeneracy take you down, because sometimes you guys get so caught up in sex that it becomes a degenerate thing and not a natural thing. It used to be that old saying. How many of y'all remember that old saying with the two bulls? One said, "Hey, I'm gonna give the clean version of it. Hey, the son, the son says to the father bull, hey, Dad, look at all these cows down here. Why don't we run down and grab them all for sexual purpose?" He said, "No, let's just walk down and we can have them all." In other words, Polight, you should have just walked down and been more cautious and careful in what you were doing. And you should have been dealing with grown-ass women. You should have been dealing with grown-ass women. Over 18. Like the Lord says. Again, I don't understand what you find appealing about little girls. I don't understand what no man would find appealing about a little girl. Or children, period. But as a father, and then Polight, you got children, man. I think they said this girl is your damn daughter age. Like, really? The pursuit of fame will eventually turn into infamy. But moving on. My next point is Brother Polight gonna be like the R. Kelly of the conscious community? Yeah, hell yeah. If R. Kelly could come out of jail now and make an album, niggas gonna buy his album. Y'all gonna buy an R. Kelly album? Yes, y'all are. Then you people that like hearing Brother Polight, you'll listen to Brother Polight just for him to try to figure out how he gonna explain and get his way out of this. And Polight, he a slick nigga. He gonna say something. He gonna try to make it work to his advantage. That's one thing I'll say. He a slippery nigga, boy. He gonna try to make something work to his advantage as to why his juices was on that young girl. He gonna try to make it work to his example somewhere. I want to be around to see how Polight gonna spend this when he come home on work release or furlough or whatever. And you already know that nigga gonna be in protective custody. He gonna PC it up. And you did that. And you sex offense in Florida, you might well have killed somebody in Texas, Polight. That's the worst place to do shit like that. And then you a so-called black man. You lucky you only got 7 years, man. All right. Yeah, you're gonna be the next R. Kelly of the conscious community, because you Negroes love controversy. Yeah. Why has false ego kept our people from working together? Has false ego kept our people from working together? Talking about bronze people, bronze copper-colored people who are known formerly as so-called black today. Of course, because we always want to believe that we are the smartest. We always want to believe that we're the most advanced in our thinking. and we all have this issue. And because of that issue, this is why we can't work together. See, in order to make a good soup, you have to have ingredients in the soup. In order to make a good soup, you have to have all ingredients in the soup to make it a good soup. You know, that's an analogy of saying that you got to have people all in the mix of what you're doing, playing their positions. And no one should try to usurp anybody else. You got those who are going to be the leaders. You got those who are going to be the soldiers. You got those who are going to be in this section, that section, doing this, that, and the third. And nobody should want to usurp anybody else's position of authority in the space in which they're in. That's ego. Ego is what keeps our people from being that cream that rises to the top. Ego. A whole lot of chiefs and not enough Indians. And that is very apropos for, us finding out that we are, in fact, the real American Indians of this land. The real American indigenous. We need to have chiefs, and we need to know who the Indians are, who are going to be the foot soldiers, the people who are going to be what we need in the community, men and women, to be those foot soldiers in the community so that we can all win together instead of failing as individuals. Ego must go in our quest for supremacy. Next question. I got to talk about the Steve Harvey thing. I got to say something about that. I'm going to start talking about here and there current events, but I'm going to always give a deeper meaning to it. Now, Steve Harvey set up here. Steve Harvey, talk show host, actor, comedian. And wannabe social influencer. He sat up here and he held up his wife, Marjorie Harvey. He held her up. He put her up on a pedestal. Right? Here's a female who wouldn't give him the time of day when he didn't have no money. Here's a female who made it a point to deal with men, who were family members. It's out there. I'm not saying anything that's not wrong. Here's a female who was introduced to you by your bodyguard / cook. And I'm like, this guy's supposed to be your cook, but he look overweight and out of shape. But whatever. This is supposed to be, no disrespect to the brother, but hey, it's obvious that he put her on Steve Harvey. Now, it's the same Steve Harvey that wrote books about think like a man, act like a lady. Or should I say he put his name on the book? Because I don't believe Steve Harvey wrote no book. I'm gonna just say it like that. He don't seem like he got the intellect to write a book. Because again, that takes patience, not just intelligence, but it takes patience and focus. And plus, you got to know what the hell you're talking about. You can't take somebody seriously who took somebody in who obviously was all about your money, who was concerned about your money. And again, this is what I'll say this. Don't ever think that you can get, just because you got money, you can get a woman to like you. Steve Harvey is proof positive that just because you got money don't mean you can get a woman to like you. You cannot make a woman like, if you lame, then you just lame. Obviously, Marjorie Harvey saw Steve Harvey as a big old lame. He lame. He's a lame with money. He's a come up. That's how she saw him, obviously. And now, here it is. They say she got caught laying up in bed messing around. However he found out with the guy, the bodyguard / chef, some dude named Big Boom. I guess he was Big Booming his woman out. You know what I'm saying? Hitting her with the real big boom while Steve Harvey was doing all them goddamn, hustling out here, running around making all this money to take care of her, to have her living in the lap of luxury and wearing designer shoes and bags and whatever the case is. You gave that up and got yourself in a compromising position just to lay up with this dude, Big Boom. And it just shows you that no matter how much money you got, you can't buy love, you can't buy affection, you can't buy the interest of anybody. A female will straight use you, somebody with money, and then go to a nigga that she like, and she will give him all your money. Whatever money you tricking off on her to go shopping, do whatever, half that's gonna be broken off on that dude that she really like, who ain't got a pot to piss in the window to throw it at her. Because again, money cannot buy you love, cannot buy you happiness, cannot buy you the affections of others. People will act like they like you long enough just so they can get what you can get. You Hollywood entertainers know that. You Hollywood entertainers and you basketball players, all you guys, you know that. You get these females who get pregnant from you on purpose, and next thing you know, you got a damn paternity suit. You know, you got a palimony suit. You got somebody coming after your money, right? And how they say, a fool of their money shall soon be parted. Damn, Bill Cosby, poor Bill Cosby, that old man ain't been able to close his damn wallet yet. He got all these raggedy ass females coming out of the woodwork claiming that he did this, that, and the third. And I'm like looking at some of these females, I'm like, damn, Bill Cosby, you got money. I used to always say, Bill Cosby got money. How you got money and you got to deal with stuff like this? You supposed to have top shelf women if you got money. You supposed to have them put up in the finest homes. You could afford that. See them maybe once every month, twice a month. You have 2 or 3 of those type of women. You don't need nobody else. Change them out, you know. Retire some, change them out, you know. You can do that. You got women who don't mind wanting to be kept out here. You got women, you got enough money, they don't mind being kept. They don't mind being your girlfriend. But a lot of these old timers, these guys are cheap. They don't want to spend the money. But look at how much money he's spending now. Pay your trick bill. See, you know. And Steve Harvey, you should have just treated that like how she treated you, like a trick. You know. It's a shame. She made you look like a goddamn fool. You sit up here writing books. You held this woman up. You look like the biggest jackass, Steve Harvey. This woman made you look like a fool. And you held her up. And people would say, oh, it's alleged. It ain't alleged no more. She just made you look like a damn fool. Which really says she didn't give a... Well, I don't think she even wanted really a divorce. She just wanted to sneak around with this dude and still get Steve Harvey money and get banged out by Big Boom. She wanted to get the Big Boom while getting in Steve Harvey pockets, you know. And, you know, I guess he wasn't going for that. Shit, y'all might well have shared her, Steve. You might well have just been, look, don't mess up my career. You know, me and you could mess around. Boom, me and you could share her. That's what you should have just did. You know, I mean, you don't gave her children your name. You know, you don't gave her children your last name. This got to be really embarrassing for you, Steve Harvey. That's why I said I wouldn't want to trade place with you guys for nothing in the world. Not all your money, nothing, man. This is really embarrassing. All right. Next question I had about hip-hop culture. Is hip-hop culture being taken away from us like our American indigenous Indian culture? Yes, it is. It's you know, if it had it not been for the accounts of our grandmothers and things like that who may still be around, our great-grandmothers who may still be around or who was around at the time, to really let us know who and what we were, which was American Indians, the real American indigenous people. Had it not been for those our grandmothers and grandfathers who kept the real accounts of our existence here in the Americas as being the real indigenous Americans, the real American Indians, had it not been for our grandparents and great-grandparents who kept the account, who didn't just go with the whole African slave lie, had it not been for them keeping that reality alive, we would have lost that forever, man. We would have lost that forever. People will always try to take what's ours. Our music, right? Our soul, our rhythm and blues, our jazz, our blues music, you know, our rock and roll, right? And really, country, which ain't nothing but blues, is nothing but blues, white version of blues. That's all country music is, right? People will try to take our very culture from us, our very identity from us, because we have a very rich culture. We have a very rich and continuous culture as Mesoamericans and as the real Indigenous Americans or the real American Indians here in this country. Not to be confused with the Native Americans, the $5 Indians, and the immigrant Mongolians who came over here into America who are claiming to be Indians now. Those are not the real Indians. Those are the Native Americans, a term that came from Caucasians. Those are not the indigenous people to this land. But y'all heard me say that already. I ain't wearing my feathered headdress today because, you know, I made a nice little haircut a couple of days ago. I just want to show off my haircut. I just want to be. Y'all like the alligator jersey? We'll start selling that from the Underlord Company. We're going to be making, you know, the reptilian jerseys from the Underlord Company, you know, so hope y'all like that. I'm not going to be on here too long. Just want to touch on that. Okay. So yeah, shout out to Tariq Nasheed for making a documentary on hip hop and letting it be known that Indigenous Americans or American Indigenous people, those bronze Indigenous American people who pioneered hip hop, he referred to them as FBA, a Foundational Black American. I don't rock with the FBA thing only because it's got black in it. And we know our people are not black, and we don't deal with the black thing. We are those bronze people, those copper-colored people, the first Americans that was mentioned in the 1828 Merriam-Webster Dictionary of American. That's who we are. I don't know who black people are. There's no such thing as black people. That's nothing but a classification from the European immigrants who set up the government here, the United States government here in the Americas. All right? That's a classification, which are going to bring me to my next one. See how this is forming in line. Is Pan-Africanism and pro-blackness really white supremacy, really white supremacist beliefs in disguise? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So for people like Umar Johnson, for people that's pushing this whole black thing, this pro-black thing, the black authorities of the world, all these people that love this whole black thing, you pushing white supremacy. You pushing Pan-Africanism, you pushing white supremacy. You pushing pro-blackness, you pushing white supremacy. Why do I say that? Because who told us we was black? Who called us black people? We didn't call ourselves black people. These Caucasians call us black people. They the ones that was making all these blackface films and whatnot, black tar baby films in the early 1900s and whatnot. They was making all them movies like Birth of a Nation and all these black degenerate tar baby face pictures and trying to say with people with jet black makeup on their face and red lips and all this other crazy looking off the wall stuff they was pushing, and they trying to say that would look like our people, which to me is the most craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, these people are mentally ill. The people that was putting on all that blackface nonsense and red lips, something is mentally off with these people. That you will sit up there and smear black shit all over your face trying to make fun of people is the biggest joke to me, because y'all ended up making fools of yourself. That's not even funny. They just look stupid. You Caucasians that smear that black shit on your face, brown or whatever, you look stupid. I call y'all shit faces. Y'all shit face for real. That don't look like us. We got beautiful bronze skin. Y'all crazy motherfuckers putting black shoe polish on your face looking like assholes. That's all you white people that made those minstrel jokes. Y'all look like a bunch of assholes from that clown, Al Jolson, that made that movie, The Jazz Singer, trying to copy a so-called bronze man. You looking like a whole idiot, right? All that blackface, y'all, all you Caucasians that did that, you look like idiots. And you black people that was going around feeling bad about that, instead of looking at these people like, how do you supposed to look at them like a bunch of crazy assholes, some idiots, trying to make fun of you, got people who got mental problems. Because that's not even funny. It's just stupid. That's not even funny. I'm not saying it because it offends me. I'm saying it because it's just dumb. And for you to be offended by something that don't even look like you, you're saying that's dumb to me. You know. So yeah, you are promoting white supremacy when you call our people black in any form of fashion. You are promoting white supremacy because, like I said before, it was a time where our people, our grandmothers and grandfathers, they'd tell you, "Don't call me no black person. Don't call me black." That was an insult to them because they knew they were bronze people. I told you before. You could find all throughout America. At one point in time, there was Bronzevilles in America. Bronzevilles, where so-called black people live. I'm saying so-called because, y'all know yourselves as black people, but the Bronzeville came from us because we were acknowledging that we were bronze-skinned people. Not brown, but bronze-skinned, as in copper-colored people. We acknowledge that. Our skin has a copper-colored bronze look to it, not a brown look. The Mexicans would have a brown look to them, and the East Indians, we have a bronze, copper-colored look. And that's what we knew ourselves to look like. And the white man at one point in time referred to us that way when he wasn't trying to come with that whole black and white agenda thing. And then he going to make us the black people. And it's sad to see our people in this day and time perpetuate that ignorant description of us. Because that calling us black is really a lazy and ignorant description of the bronze, copper-colored people. So that's why I said a lot of you so-called pro-blacks, a lot of y'all are part of the agenda of these Caucasians, these ones who, not all of them, but the ones who want to keep the whole black and white thing going. A lot of y'all are part of the agenda, man. Y'all don't give a damn about your people. That whole black thing destroyed our people, by the way. That whole black identity and that nonsense has done nothing but destroy the minds of our people. Because of people who can't even tell you who they really are people who are mentally destroyed. People who have been convinced that there's something that they're not. Those are people who are brainwashed or brain stained, as I say. And y'all helping keeping that going. So keep on promoting white supremacy, black authority, and all those other people calling us black people, Tariq Nasheed and all them. No disrespect to y'all, but y'all promoting white supremacy. I don't care. I like your content, but y'all still, by calling us a foundational blacks and all this black nonsense, or claiming that we come from Africa, which is another lie from the white man. Tariq, Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, you talking about we came over here in the 1500s? We didn't come over here in no 1500s. We was always in America. We was always in America from day one. From South Central and North America into present day, from South and Central America into present North America. All we did is shift from the South and come up to the North of America. That's all. And we was the first ones here in America. So anybody that's telling us anything other than that, anybody's coming with this African narrative or this black narrative, they're pushing white supremacy. That's not our thinking. That's the white man. That's the Caucasian's thinking. His lies. Let me see. And I'm bringing to the continuous attack on the Indigenous American people. I was watching something the other day, and it's going to be the last point I'm going to wrap it up with. I want to say it was in Florida, in North Carolina. And a lot of these places, y'all got to be careful in the southern parts, because a lot of places like North Carolina, all of a sudden you got tornadoes and floods coming into areas where black people are, right? And places getting flooded and, power going out. And then you're starting to hear this onslaught of attacks on so-called black people, right? And more police activity and, them showing up and showing out and doing all this other stuff. And then the attack from this clown that decided to go on a shooting spree and shoot up a few people to kill himself. These people are losing their minds. Watch yourself. There's an attack on the Indigenous American people out here. And the immigrants, the Caucasian immigrants, are turning up and showing out. Be very cautious of these people. Be cautious of these people because, again, the age of ignorance is coming to an end, and the age of intelligence, the age of revelation or revealing is coming to it. So we are in that time of revelation and revealing because we are finding out and we are coming to the reality that we are the true and only Americans here the only American indigenous people here by blood, by birth, by everything. We are linked to this land. So miss me with the whole genetically African thing. And no, we ain't genetically African nothing. Our start is here in America. The first civilization was built here in America, not Africa. That's a lie. But they push these lies to our people so that they can get you to embrace Africanism, because that's an agenda. That's an agenda. That's all. But I'm going to keep it short. We got any questions before we close out? Okay. So if there's nothing else, we had this little short impromptu thing. I'm going to close out. But I want you all to subscribe to my Patreon, MENTELLECT Patreon. Subscribe to MENTELLECT Patreon. All right? Subscribe to MENTELLECT Patreon. I do MENTELLECT radio every night from 10:30 to 12 or 12:30 to 10:30 to 12:30 Eastern Standard. So subscribe to that. Subscribe to the MENTELLECT Patreon. To MENTELLECT Radio on BLOGTALK, and I send a lot of those over to MENTELLECT Patreon, and I do a lot of 15-minute shorts of most raw and uncut stuff on, things that are going on in the world, giving logical and rational breakdowns of what's going on. So check that out, MENTELLECT Patreon, and also go to the bottom link, become a member of the Republic of America. Those of you who acknowledge that you are American Indigenous or the American Indigenous people, we have to become a real republic, a real society of people for our own good. So hit the bottom link of this video. You'll see how you can become a member of the Republic of America, or as we refer to as the Indigenous International Republic of America, which is for American Indigenous people, which we are all around the world. Even in Africa, we got some American Indigenous people. A lot of people in Africa are really American Indigenous people. But we're going to talk about that in the next one. And that's it. We're going to have this stuff on sale, shirts on Underlord. Oh, also you see the Underlord Polo shirt. We got to have the Underlord Polo shirt up there on the Underlord America site and everything. A lot of stuff is coming out. So that's about it. And the She-Lord Polo shirts, all that's coming out. So, that's it. We're going to close out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. Amen we trust, and Amen we thank, and Amen we continue forward forever. We out.